Welcome back again in my YouTube channel named Steno. Get ready for dictation. 5 seconds to go. Start. Universities, which can be termed new in the sense that not even half a century has passed since their establishment, this university, except the Banaras University, may perhaps be said to be the oldest full stop. But it was only a little time ago that it assumed its present form, and from that point of view, it may be said to be the youngest of the new universities full stop. Naturally, its traditions have not yet become so rigid as to make it difficult for it to move in the direction it chooses for itself full stop. I therefore, accept it to maintain a system of education which would enable it to fulfill all the purposes which education has in the life of man full stop. I have observed on several occasions and at several places previously that our present educational system, whether of the primary or secondary schools or of the universities, does not seem to be fulfilling those purposes, and that at any rate, it is not fulfilling those objectives in a balanced way full stop. With your permission, I would like to say a few words about this question today full stop. In my view, the objectives of education are three, two of which relate more or less to the life of the individual as such, while the third is concerned with his collective life full stop. Its first objective is to enhance the power and capacity of reason of the individual given to him by God full stop. It is true that reason is a gift made by nature or God to man at the time of his birth full stop. But in its pristine form, its capacity and power are extremely limited full stop. If a person were to be left to depend on his untutored reason alone, he would not be able to use it for any good to himself or to his fellows due to severe limitation of space and time full stop. But if this rational faculty is enriched by the accumulated experience of the past generations, its power and capacity are increased very greatly. For then, the individual is able to grasp numerous truths of great utility relating to himself and the animate and inanimate world around him, which he could not possibly have learnt by means of his own unaided reason because of other reasons full stop. The second objective of education is to train the senses of every individual human being as will enable him to employ them for fulfilling successfully all his physical and other needs full stop. While knowledge is no doubt essential for a proper employment of these organs, their practical training is also necessary for the same purpose full stop. However vigorous or energetic a man may be, he cannot effectively undertake any work unless his bodily organs are also properly trained and have some experience of that kind of work. Full stop. The third purpose of education, in my view, is that it should evoke in the individual the qualities necessary to enable him to live and work with his fellow beings. Full stop. Whether a person likes it or not, he has to live in society. Full stop. No one can wholly retire from the world and live in an isolated cottage of his own. Full stop. The life of complete solitude is nothing but a beautiful fancy of the poet. Semicolon. It is not and cannot be a fact of life. Full stop. It is possible that an individual may live in solitude for a little time, but he cannot do so for all his life. Full stop. So, when collective life is an inevitable and electable fact of human life, it is absolutely necessary that every individual should be fully conservant with the art of collective living. Full stop. Para. In the ages gone by, when the scale of collective life was quite limited and when economic processes had not become highly concentrated, there was no great necessity for an organized effort to achieve these three objectives or to maintain at every instant a balance amongst them. Full stop. But today, when the scale of collective life is almost worldwide and when economic processes have become concentrated beyond imagination, it has become highly necessary to make intense efforts to help the individual realize these objectives in his life, not only in the realm of mind but also in that of action. Full stop. Para. So it is that in the past few decades people have been feeling in all parts of the world the necessity for a fundamental change in the educational system inherited by them from the past. Full stop. In fact, we find that different kinds of changes have been taking place in the educational system of different countries of the world. Full stop. I would not be wrong if I say that in the educational sphere also a revolution has been taking place similar to that which has taken place in the economic and political spheres. Full stop. In our country and especially in the state of Bihar, unfortunately, there has been no such far-reaching change in the sphere of better education. Full stop.